Who am I? I am a business consultant and digital lead here at Enterprise Northwest. I have over 10 years experience in ICT and digital marketing. I've also worked both in the financial and the business sectors. At the moment, I work on a range of business development and growth programs where we help startup programs, startup businesses, and businesses that are existing with a lot of help, where we help like social media, help with financials. At the moment, we're helping a lot of clients apply for grants, business planning. We support SME clients to identify and implement digital transformation strategies in their business. As you know, with the current situation, a lot of businesses have now gone online. So a lot of business owners need help in that sense. Some people aren't really that tech savvy, so we do a lot of support in that. So as Brian mentioned, if you could just let us know in the chat your name, your business, and also if you would like to just say what you would like most, or love most about social media, or what you want to gain out of this workshop, because this is a good way to use this opportunity as a networking system to make connections with a lot of different businesses and organizations who are on this workshop today. So the first topic will be the different social media platforms. We'll discuss Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, and Pinterest. These are the different platforms that a lot of businesses would use to showcase their products, to raise brand awareness, and also just to get their name out there. We'll start off with Instagram. Here is just a few wee facts about Instagram. It is the 10th most popular Google query. It's the second most downloaded free app in the Apple App Store. 62% of people say they have become more interested in a brand or product after seeing it in their stories. 11% of social media users shop on Instagram. So when clients come to myself, they always ask, am I better being on Instagram or am I better being on Facebook? And I always give the tip that there's always somebody that's on Facebook who's not on Instagram, so it's better having both platforms. You can create a target audience who are different on Instagram, who are not on Facebook. So these are the little tips of do's and don'ts on Instagram. The do's: post relevant content. If you have like a retail business, you want to grab your audience, share tips of these are the latest trends. These are how to wear this item. Post relevant content that you're going to get your customers engaged. They're not going to drop off. They're going to not become bored. You want to always tell them the latest offers, the competitions that you have, how to direct them on the different brands. Also, you want to interact with your followers. So you always want to keep your Instagram page current. I always say to clients, don't let the little colored ring around your stories disappear. So you always need to have content every single day on your Instagram. Instagram is really active. It's really visual compared to the likes of Facebook, where you can put a lot of content on Facebook in terms of text and ads and links, whereas Instagram, you need a lot of visual type content. Share your good news stories, successes. Don't be afraid to, if you do well in your business, don't be afraid to share it on your Instagram. This will let people know, number one, that your business is doing really well. Number two, that you're current, you're active, you're still pushing hard in your business. On to the don'ts. Don't forget to post. Don't forget to use visuals. Don't be afraid to have fun. People come on to Instagram as a fun platform. They want to push away all the negatives, so they come on there just for a bit of content, just for something different. Don't buy followers. That's the worst thing you can do. You'll always get spam messages in their DMs on Instagram. You want to buy followers. People think they have to do that just to increase their followers, but that will just bombard you with just negative stuff in the comments and your feeds. And don't abuse hashtags. I was just giving a few clients there some tips there recently. People think when they're putting in hashtags, they have to go for the most popular ones that are posted out with like over 1 million posts. that's the ones that will get filtered out and you won't get seen. I always recommend to go for some that are like 30,000. They're the ones that are more organic. They're going to get seen. They're not going to get filtered out. Instagram advertising audience overview. Okay, so this is the potential number of people that marketers can reach on Instagram through their advertisements. As you can see, there are more advertisements on Instagram that are reached. They're slightly increased on female side. And this is because Instagram do a lot of ads in terms of retail, in terms of shopping. So the female side are hitting that harder. There's 1.8 billion number of people that Instagram reports can be reached with adverts on Instagram. So there's just a few statistics there. So this is a little tricky when you're setting up an Instagram account. Some people don't realize that they need to have a business account. So pros of a business account: a contact button. You can put your address and location. You can keep up to date with your follower analytics, and you can have the capabilities of controlling ads on your business account. The pros of a personal account: you can have private settings and you have higher organic reaches. And this is the difference between a business account. It's a lot harder getting reaches out there compared to when you're in a personal account. Also, on a personal account, you have the ability to connect multiple Facebook pages and profiles. As to a business account, you can only connect to one. Moving on to Facebook. Facebook is a really good platform for your brand awareness. Facebook is one of the largest social media platforms in the world. Your business presence will help you gain exposure to potential customers. Drive website traffic by posting links to your website. You can help increase online visits. Facebook is a good platform for target advertising. Facebook advertising allows you to target specific demographics based on location, age, gender, and interests. It generates business leads. Your audience of Facebook likes can be a great starting point to gather sales leads. You can use competitions and giveaways to gather email addresses to build your marketing list. Facebook is a really good way to showcase your brand and your products, as well as Instagram, because if you have also a lot of clients come to me, if you have a live e-commerce site, you can get the permissions from Facebook to have a Facebook shop, or you can link your products and if people hover over it, you can have you can showcase your prices and direct them straight onto your website. Okay, so the benefits of Facebook: you can engage your fans, encourage fans to comment, animate the discussion. You need to reply in a timely manner. You need to nominate the moderators. So with Facebook, you can have a few people from your organization or your team. You can have them set to admins. You can set them to creators, so that a few people within your team can have the ability to sign on, make changes to your Facebook platform, control messages, control ads, control the platform, so that's not just one person in charge. Also with Facebook, you can set your automated messages to personalize them. So if a client or a customer comes on to message your page, instead of the usual where are you located, what are your opening times, if you have your business set up to maybe be retail again, I'll use that as an example, you can have do you deliver, you can have it more personalized, so that's straight to the point. It cuts away the middleman, and you can get back to customers quicker, so that filters out any unnecessary messages. With that being said, you can also delve even more deeper. You can set up the automated ones to be more personalized, so that you can respond back, so the customers get an automated message straight away to say, thank you for your message, we will respond back as soon as we can. That lets customers know that their message has been received, and also it's very polite just to give them a message back. They all can be created within the business suite and the business manager, which we will talk about on down. Here is another just overview with a few statistics on Facebook. With Facebook, it's slightly different here with compared to Instagram. In the ads audience, it's slightly higher for males compared to females, whereas Instagram is slightly higher for females. This is because on Facebook, there's a lot of like sports advertisements, whereas Instagram would be like a lot of clothing, a lot of retail, as opposed to Facebook, so slightly higher for males.
One of the questions here, Rachel, somebody asked is about, it's timely because they asked about Facebook organic posts. Organic post is just the post that you do every day. That's what we would describe as organic posts. So this is what your followers and your likes should see. But non-organic posts would be advertisements or maybe boosted posts. So yep. Organic is just your natural, your day-to-day posts, your shares and stuff like that there, your reach. So non-organic would be paid for. So that's what we're saying. See, in terms of your engagement, you might notice that your engagement has gone down of your organic, your normal posts that you would do without spending any money. That's, they try and encourage you to get, they spend a bit of money with them. So that's what we mean by organic. So just answering that question in the chat.
Yeah, organic is just free. And I always say, do as much as you can organically first. If you use a lot of keywords and reinvent your page and your content, then your organic reach and your organic material should do really well before you need to do any paid work in terms of paid advertisement. Okay, so more statistics here on Facebook and on the activity. This just shows that females are slightly higher to like and comment on their posts and likely to engage more than males. Just because they do. You know yourself, if you're commenting under a friend's photo of a night out, it's normally all the time that it's females as opposed to males. Males are just a wee bit reluctant. Males are shown to watch more videos. And also it is now shown that a lot of people watch a lot of videos with no sound. And a lot of people watch videos that are really, really short. With Facebook's algorithm, it is known for a lot of businesses to use videos at the moment, as videos are getting picked up in the searches and in people's feeds, and that's creating a lot of brand awareness for businesses.
And that's why you would see maybe on Facebook videos and YouTube videos and I suppose Instagram videos now, where people would automatically put on the subtitles. So a lot of people now are watching it without sound, and that's why you see videos now kind of using the subtitles. And there is some applications that kind of would automatically generate those subtitles. Sometimes they need a bit of tweaking, but generally they get them about 90% right. So that's why you see that increasing that now, because people watch them without sound.
Yeah, and I always recommend, which we will talk about on down, to use as much as you can the use of the new function on Instagram, the Instagram Reels, which you can create short videos, because a lot of people do not want to watch long clip videos. If you can use Instagram Reels to create your video, it's a short clip. You can also have text because we know people don't really like to listen to sound, but you have the option to add music, up-to-date music there, but you don't need to listen to the music. You can create it on Reels and you can use that for that video then for your other platforms. Okay, so moving on to LinkedIn, which some people think is a scary platform because it's business to business. And it's a different platform as opposed to Facebook and Instagram for, using it to get your business out there, and also just for even posting content, because it's a more professional platform. LinkedIn is a social network specifically designed for career and businesses. It's about building strategic relationships, and it stops showing your actual number of connections once you have over 500, because it's about quality, not quantity. A little tip for LinkedIn that I give out is it's not like Facebook where you come up in people's may know section. You need to engage a lot on LinkedIn. So you need to be seen commenting, you need to be seen liking and sharing in order for you to appear on people's feeds. So you need to be engaging a lot on LinkedIn. Okay, so where do you begin on a LinkedIn platform? So you need to create an effective company page for your business. So a company page is your business LinkedIn profile. It is a little similar to Facebook business page, and it's your company's personal Facebook account. You need to define your audience and your goals. As with any marketing venture, defining your goals is a great place to start. Are you trying to establish yourself as a leader, recruit candidates, or generate leads for your company? So you need to think about this before you create your profile. You need to have like a strategy in place to say what you're going to use this platform for. So this will help them once you're kind of engaging on LinkedIn. If it's for recruitment, you need to be following a lot of pages linked under recruitment. A lot of organizations, like even ourselves, that are sharing a lot of business information, and engage with that and make a lot of connections. You need to publish actionable content. The best way to grow your followers and to keep them interested is to publish content the audience finds interesting on a regular basis. Your content needs to answer questions. It needs to help your audience perform their jobs better or help address main points. So I was, when I only started myself using LinkedIn, I was a bit weary of it. Now I check LinkedIn every single day. I find it very informative, especially in my role now at the moment. I find myself, following a lot of organizations LinkedIn to ourselves, keeping up to date with the current changes in the business side, with the latest grants available, so that I can then advise clients, here's what the latest news is. And then I go and I say to clients, these are the pages that you need to be following for your organization, for your business, in order to make connections. And it has paid off because they know then the pathway they need to take in order to get a result for their business. So some of the benefits of LinkedIn for a business user. It'll build your professional network through the power of social media. It'll increase exposure for your LinkedIn company page, for your products, for your services, and attract quality employees. It'll increase credibility and attract new business. So, for example, if you do a course or a qualification or any certifications, once you add it to LinkedIn, this is a good way for any future employers to source you, because once that's added, then that goes out to your newsfeed, it is updated. People can congratulate you. People can congratulate you when you have an achievement. You're known, you're seen, so that if you are looking for possible new employment or making connections, if you decide to take a course, then that helps you make a pathway and a connection on that. So it is a great networking system. And here's what you should do and you should not do on LinkedIn. So what you should do is personalize connection requests. So if you know someone that has made a connection on LinkedIn, and it's something that it's like a business and it's someone local, send them a message to say, thanks for the connection, or, even engage in their material once you've accepted their connection. If it's material that they're trying to share for their business, then just give it a reshare, because that's helping those get their business out there. And send them a welcome message. Respond promptly. If they've sent you a message, just respond back to them. And also, in terms of if somebody's asked you a question about a business, respond back. Have a professional headshot. As this is a business platform, you don't want to have something that would be more social, like a headshot from Facebook or Instagram. This is completely different because it's business, and again, it's possible employers that could be looking at your page. Post content regularly. This needs to be updated because, as I said, you need to be engaging a lot on LinkedIn. You need to be seen commenting, liking, so you need to be posting regularly. You might see, once you do like and comment under other people's content, you might get a wee message from LinkedIn to say you're doing really well. If you add a comment to this, your engagement will increase. So LinkedIn does give you a wee prompt. Nurture your relationships. Again, as I said, if you see somebody on your page that has had an achievement, congratulate them. Just send them a wee message, have a wee like, or reshare their material. keep it professional. You don't want to upload any photos of nights out or any material that you know is not good for a business platform. Introduce people. Again, it's a great networking system. If you know that somebody has put a message on LinkedIn to say, you know, does anyone know of somebody that would be, you know, like a content writer, and you have somebody in mind, you know, you just make that connection and introduce people and set that up. What you should not do on LinkedIn is don't send spammy messages to your connections. As it's not like the other social platforms, you don't want to do that because it's a very professional platform. Don't send irrelevant messages, only send informative messages or a query. Don't send messages with, I see you viewed my profile, because, you know, that's very off-putting for someone. LinkedIn, you do get a notification when someone is on your profile, so you don't want to put very off-putting messages where say you're on my profile. You know, that's just not really allowed. Don't add connections to your email list, and don't ask strangers for recommendations, because you know you don't know who the connection is. You would rather have somebody that is beneficial to you, especially that LinkedIn cap your connections at a certain number, because it's about quality, not quantity. Don't criticize others or comment negatively. You will notice on LinkedIn, it's a very positive platform because it's very professional. People do, you know, put up their achievements and stuff. You won't see a lot of negative stuff. Don't forget to check and to reply to comments, especially as a business platform. You need to respond back. You need to still keep up to date with this platform as of your other platforms, because someone will be contacting your business through LinkedIn and they may not be on the other platforms. So you need to have every platform current. So here are a few statistics on LinkedIn. Again, it is known that males are more active and responding back to like the likes of advertisements and engagement as opposed to females on LinkedIn compared to Instagram still, so it's slightly higher. 13% of the share of population age 18 plus marketers can reach with adverts on LinkedIn. Okay, so we're moving on here now to Twitter. So Twitter is a really good platform if you are media or content, or you know, into the writing. It's a really good platform for that. Twitter is very instant, and it does involve a lot of you know, you can't just tweet on Twitter one day and then leave it for a while. You need to be very active on Twitter. Okay, so Twitter is a micro-blogging platform that allows members to send out messages, which are tweets, with a maximum of 280 characters. Other people follow this account. Followers are able to read the user's tweets. So Twitter does cap tweets, so you need to be very careful, especially if you're putting out a post about your company and you need to add any call to actions, or you need to add a certain amount of hashtags. That's capped, so you might have to shorten that down a good bit. Tweets can include links to any web content, photos and videos. They can also include polls, call to actions. To this day, there are over 261 million active users in the platform. This is a large audience worth connecting with. Twitter is really good for making connections, but you need to be very careful with your material on Twitter. Any negative you know, material that gets picked up in an instance, and it could just give you a bad reputation for your business, so you need to be very careful. It is always recommended to have a call to action, especially on the business side. So if you put up a post, if you have a website, put your link in there and use relevant hashtags that are relevant to your business. And again, don't overuse the hashtags. And here's just a little infographic of how Twitter started. And it was founded by Jack Dorsey. And it just shows you the lifespan of that, how he met and dabbling in art and unsure of what to do. Randomly meets another guy at a cafe, gives him a job, sketches Twitter, comes up with a 140 character idea. Twitter has a breakthrough. and he becomes the CEO, and then he's fired, and the other guy becomes the CEO and he's replaced, and it gets 100 million active users. Then in November 2013, files IPO, Jack becomes CEO again, and then October 2016, Twitter attempts to sell itself. So Twitter is a good platform, but it's a tricky one. It is very visual. And again, as I said, if you're in the media business or like content writing, this is a really good platform for you. I use Twitter. So for personal uses, it's really good for sharing news, for meeting new people. It's really good for building a community. It's a real-time search. It's really good for learning. It's a steady stream of ideas, content, resources, tips, and it's a really good platform for entertainment. So Twitter is very instant for news and anything that's out there at the moment. It's one of the platforms that has it instant compared to like the likes of Facebook, compared to Instagram. Normally, if anything is new in the entertainment industry, it's on Twitter first. For the business use, it's really good for brand building. It's good for making connections with other brands, especially if you use hashtags and if you tag, which is the @ symbol. It's really good for customer service. If you know, I'll use, for example, a lot of people use this. So Paddy Power, I know it's a betting site, but it's a really good way to get in touch. Their live chat and their services, email services, are always known for not being responsive. So Paddy Power's Twitter, if you have a tweet on their page, they respond instantly, because they know if they don't, in that moment, they will get negative exposure if they don't respond to tweets. So product and service feedback and reviews, you can get that instantly on Twitter. You can monitor the latest trends. You can look at the competitor pages on Twitter. As it's always instant, you can know what's up to date with everything. You can create polls on Twitter, and people will engage really well with polls, surveys. Real-time testimonials, you can ask for reviews of your services, of your products. You can extend the reach of your blog, website, Facebook fan page. You can find vendors, partners, tech help, and employees. So you can put up a job advertisement on Twitter, and you can again, make connections, tag, hashtag, so that it's a wider search. You can use that as a recruitment side of things on Twitter. And here we'll move on to the Twitter tips, do's and don'ts. So do frequently tweet different types of content. You do not want to bore your audience with content. You want to keep it, engaging, because you need to be posting a lot on Twitter. It will show on the newsfeed the types of content. So you just don't want one after the other, the same type of content. You want to engage followers strategically. So you want to keep a wee eye on your followers. You don't want anybody dropping off. If you do see a drop off, then you want to come up with a new plan, a new marketing strategy to say, right, let's reinvent it. You want to have a plan in place for every month. You want to provide feedback and redirect for customer service. So keep an eye on that on your page to see, are your messages that you're responding back to, are they keeping up to date? Are your customers happy with the service that they're getting? And again, you want to have fun. No matter what your business is, you still want to have some fun content and relate it back into your business. You don't want to take it so serious, because as these are also platforms used for your business, they're also social platforms. So people want to come on, they want to have a laugh, they want to, just take a break from everyday life. So if you can relate a bit of fun in your business, then that'll also get reshared. And once that's getting reshared, your brand name is also getting reshared. So it's a 1-1 for both.
I think Rachel there for that point, I suppose having fun, it's being personal.
Yeah.
I suppose especially you as local businesses, you do have lots of local customers. Yes, ideally you want kind of people from outside the locality too, depending on your business, but it's about being personal as well. Sometimes people, I suppose, in business struggle with that, I suppose, personalization of their content. So it doesn't have to always be you trying to sell that pair of shoes if you're a shoe shop. It can be kind of personalizing, maybe about a member of staff, maybe it's their birthday, maybe it's somebody's moving on, maybe it's a new member of staff, maybe it's a kind of you're out of walking, maybe you've seen another business doing marketing really well, you've taken a photograph, you share that. So it's personalizing it. So that's the one of the big takeaways from today. It doesn't always have to be about the business. It can be personalizing, especially as a local business. That personalization is what people build connections with and what people empathize with. So that's where we kind of what Rachel means when she mentions about having fun. It's about personalizing it.
Yeah, definitely. And I will touch on that again further on down when it comes to personalizing types of content relating into your business. So what you should not do on Twitter is don't relentlessly promote yourself. So people do like to see good news stories and successes of the business and of yourself, but don't overdo it, especially on Twitter because it is so instant. They don't want to see it overused. Don't overuse hashtags. People think with certain platforms they need to use a lot of hashtags. It's just a certain amount of hashtags, and it has to be, relevant hashtags and hashtags that are, useful, not just hashtags for the sake of hashtagging. And again, I'll discuss hashtags on down. Don't send automated direct messages to everyone. You don't want to bombard or annoy your audience. Especially with messages, especially even messages to prompt or to follow or to do something, because it can come across desperate and off-putting, and this is how you could lose followers. Don't neglect those who help you. So always, return the favor. If a company or business has helped you and shared your content or, helped you out in some way, return the favor and share their material or do something back in return. Don't be private. If you're a business, you want to have it public so that people can share your material, engage with your content, see more about your business. You don't want to have it private because that'll be hard for you to get followers. Because people have to actually, add you as a friend, connect with you in that way. So you want to have it public. So moving on to Pinterest. So Pinterest is another platform as one of the major social media networks, and businesses can use it too. Pinterest business accounts allow brands to reach and connect with customers in the research stage as a way of providing inspiration and advice that the platform is well known for. Pinterest is an image social sharing site, and it's beneficial for crafters and handmade businesses because it can showcase their products and it can give ideas and tips, and it can work as a storyboard. So here are some of the benefits for using Pinterest for your business. It's a digital scrapbooking. So pretty much any business can benefit from using Pinterest as long as they can share something with a visual aspect. Increases direct traffic. Pinterest's most powerful feature is its potential for traffic generation. Nearly all the images on Pinterest link to the original source of the image. It also empowers your brand. With Pinterest, you can personalize your page to your business and to your logo and profile picture to reach maximum exposure every time you pin an image. It is also user-driven, so it lets Pinterest users use your products, services for you. When a user pins your pin, others can see it, and when they pin the pin again, your coverage grows that much more. So it's a real networking system, and it's a real system to get ideas for your business visually. So again, I've just created some do's and don'ts for Pinterest. So on Pinterest, do learn the terminology of that platform. Create an account on it, get a feel for it, go to the section that relates under your business, see how things are posted, see how the images are took, get a feel for it before you start doing it yourself. Do learn the most popular Pinterest categories. Do use a business account. Do verify your business account, and do use Pinterest analytics. I do recommend to use analytics for every platform, but with Pinterest, you will see through the analytics of, what you're doing wrong, where you can improve all through the analytics of that. What you shouldn't do on Pinterest is don't use rich pins all the time. Don't neglect your SEO. Now, this is a really important one for all of your platforms. With your SEO is your search engine optimization, and that relates into your keywords, your advertisements, your images, even your images. When you save an image, don't just save it from the internet as it's saved. You need to resave that and save it into something that's linked to your business, something that will be seen, because that will be picked up on the search engine optimization through the web. Don't go crazy with keywords. Don't overuse keywords, because that can come up as an overusing of keywords, and that can be wrong. So use keywords that relates into your business. If you were, for example, kids wear, you would use kids wear, children's wear, baby clothes, baby, now and again. You don't want to overuse it, and you don't want to use words that are just too far out there. There's also free keyword searchers available on the internet. You literally just type into Google free keyword searcher, and they will give you a list of ones that relate into your business. Don't forget, it's also a social community. So it's a community to help make connections. Don't copy other social media marketing strategies. Get ideas, yes, definitely, and get a flow for similar businesses that are similar to yours. See their ideas, but make your own. You want to be individual. You want to get ideas and inspiration from Pinterest, but you want to create your own strategy. And don't pin all at once. You don't want to overuse it. You don't want to bombard it. You don't want to get anything lost because you're over pinning.
Rachel, can I come on there in the SEO too? I suppose we talk about search engine optimization, SEO there, and for Pinterest, but as Rachel said, it's so important across all of your platforms, across your website, because sometimes when you take that photograph with your phone or with a camera and we save it maybe to our computer or we save it to our phone, it's saved as a pile of numbers.
Yeah.
So we should be saving that as the actual description. So yes, it might be, if it was a particular business, it might be a certain type of car, it might be the certain type of size engine, it might be the color of the car, it might be something. So that whenever Google is doing the search and whenever those social medias are doing their searches, they are picking up those words, because if you have a pile of numbers, then the Google spider and the social media kind of accounts, the algorithms don't know what that is. Where if you're describing that and it maybe has some of the relevant terms within your business and some of the descriptions within your business, then they're more likely to get it caught up. Now, we don't remember to maybe rename and give each one of our photographs that we put on social media a title, but if you can get into that habit, no, it's definitely, it will help your presence online across all of your channels.
Yeah, definitely. Just get into the swing of things, and especially then once you're if you have or have not, then create a website and then link in your SEO to that. Then that all stands, saving images and your keywords. So it all plays a part in your pathway to your business. Okay, so we'll move on here now to the topic of content creation, which is a really good one for businesses at the moment, especially on social media and using social media platforms. So planning types of content. When planning what type of content you need to create and what platform you're creating it for, it will be fairly simple to determine what content format you will work for you. And there's 4 primary formats to choose from. So the type of content you'll need, it will be your text, images, videos, and links, which we are called the actions. So social media marketing strategy, what you'll need to have in place. You'll need to set goals, what you want to get out of your social media, what you want to get out for your business, when you want to achieve them. Set it for a month's time, down 6 months, and within the first year. Determine your audience. So this will be a good one to use your analytics for. Look and see how many people's on your page, your demographics, determine your type of audience. If it's a younger generation, then you need to have content related to those. If it's a mixture of all, then make sure it's a variety of content. Choose the platform. So if you have people that are more active on Instagram, make sure that you're always up to date with your content on Instagram. Um, Everything is always answered back. There's no mails that's going unanswered, that it's because that's a reflection onto your business. Create your content, implement it, track and measure your progress, and then adjust where necessary. So if you create, for example, a competition and that has went out and you realize that it's only got a few engagements, that it hasn't done as well as you thought, look at it and see what time did you post that out, what day. It could be something to do with that. You look and see if you post out another day, at another time, would it get more engagement? Was there no call to actions on the competition? Was there no hashtags? Was it the relevant hashtags? Was there an image added onto the competition? Was this image eye-catching? Trial and error, and make sure you have a list of everything that goes into each post and each type of content. So that's all relatable and it's all eye-catching, and also it raises your brand awareness. So to help with your content creation, a good thing to use is a social media calendar. Why do you use a social media calendar? Due to the content overload in today's social networks, it's become more difficult than ever before for organizations to stand out and grab their audience's attention. With so many brands competing for some of the spotlight, a consistent stream of quality content is really the only way to maintain a significant presence. So again, organic reach is one of the most challenging features in the world of marketing. And for brands dreaming of this achievement, a well-organized publishing schedule is a must. So if you use a social media calendar, at least you know your content is planned, it's organized, and you can schedule it so that you don't have to think on your feet in that moment and just post content for the sake of posting it. At least you know it's authentic, it relates into your business, it relates into like an advertisement or an upcoming event. All that can help with your business. And then I have some clients ask the question, well, if I have this content all planned and scheduled, what about if something, there's a good news story there and then on the day? Well, definitely post that as well, because it's added content and it's in the moment and it's extra content, and there's no problems doing that. So types of social media calendars. This is a really good site that I recommend, and the site is called Promo. And on that site, you can do a lot of things. You can have templates, and they have a blog and stuff. But as you can see here, they up at the top, and I will link this when you get the copy. They have a calendar, and the calendar has national hashtags of the year. So I say, no matter what your business, no matter the client, each month will have something relates under your business. So this will be really good for content ideas. So say, for example, you had a business that was DIY. So there's National DIY Day. So you could create a competition, or you could just post the content that you already have and say, it's National DIY Day today. Have a look at our work, have a look at our content today, or tag a friend that you know is really bad at DIY, so you can relate it into funny type of content. It just means that you can get your brand seen and post about something else that you don't have to come up with. This calendar is a really good one to have. Just save it to your favorites and look every month then, and even schedule it in advance if you know that there's a big day. So for example, we had International Women's Day before, so we knew it was coming up. We were able to use a lot of content about that. We had events coming on about that. So that was a good one for us, and I'm sure a lot of other businesses took advantage of that national hashtag day. But there will be many more coming up that will be relevant to a lot of businesses.
I think that I suppose people look at that social media calendar and think, oh God, social media calendar is like the calendar we used to have on the wall, where we planned out our whole year or planned out our whole month, or it's maybe that hard diary that you keep with you. I know my wife manages her whole life around her diary. So basically that's what the social media calendar is, because sometimes you're running your business, you're chasing that invoice, you're making that sale, you're dealing with that customer issue, you're firefighting, maybe a member of staff hasn't come in. And sometimes that social media, I suppose, content and activities can get pushed to the side because you're doing all other stuff. So having that calendar just gives you a bit of time and a bit of breathing space to kind of get a bit of thinking about the month ahead, or maybe 2 months ahead, and start to populate stuff in so that you never miss a week. Yeah, not saying you have to post every day, but you may never miss. No, you don't go quiet, because sometimes when those people will check you out online, as we all do, every single one of us, when we're looking to make that purchase now, we all go and have a look online and see what the price is, or see maybe what the customer reviews are. We don't want to find where maybe somebody hasn't posted anything for 3, 4, 5, 6 weeks, because then we're thinking, well, is that an active business? And so yeah. So the calendar is just to give you a bit of, I suppose, structure to all your content, and I suppose it allows you to plan ahead rather than you just planning maybe possibly a day or two ahead.
Yeah, definitely. And there are loads out there. You don't have to use the promo one, but I do really recommend the promo calendar, especially that it's a free platform that has different functions on it. But there are a lot of other ones here. For example, there's a Biteable calendar, and that has just different days, different upcoming events and stuff where you can get ideas from, and different tips. So creating engaging content, here's little ideas for you. So you can have polls on your pages. You can have fun facts. You can share articles related under your industry. So it doesn't always have to be sale type content. It can be different sections. If you just, take the time to schedule your content, to change it up a bit and say, right, okay, what can I do now? And you can share different statistics relating under your business. You can do a day in the life post. So as a lot of businesses now at the moment have had to close due to lockdown, what a lot of people are doing are kind of reinventing. They've had a lot of new followers. So they said, I'm going to do about me section. So to their new followers. So they just done a wee about section, even though they're an existing business a long time and they're well known, just to change it up. They're stuck for content, they're closed at the moment. They put an image up of themselves and about them and about their business. So it was just refreshing, and it was just a different idea for content. Inspirational quotes are really good, as long as you don't overuse them. Everyone now and again likes to share a quote, especially if it's uplifting or if it's funny and you can relate it under your business. So, for example, if you have something up that's funny, it's Monday Blues, it's going to be reshared. If somebody reshares that, they're also resharing your brand name, and they're also coming on your page to get a laugh. So, it's not so serious, and they're coming on to get a bit of humor, and they're also sharing your brand name. You can ask a question to your audience, which is really good. So you're getting potential feedback for your business. So, and it takes 2 seconds, and a really good time for this is the evening time. So you can do a wee Q&A, and a good section for this is your stories, even Instagram stories. Put up the wee Q&A, ask a question. If you find it hard for people to engage in that, just ask 1 or 2 friends to start it moving, as sometimes your audience can be a bit shy to start it off. They might think, I want to ask a question, but I don't know the feel of the topics that's going to be happening. So get your friends to start engaging in that, and then you will see that the questions will start to flow. Do a discount or a promotion now and again. You don't have to give away free stuff all the time, but now and again would be really good, and do a really good one. And again, use the calendars for inspiration, especially the hashtag days. With events, you can relate that under your discount, and you can do, I always say to people, don't leave it too long. Do a start and an end date of a competition and promotion so that people know when it's finished and when they have to enter by. So that also prompts them to share it, so they know then that there's going to be an end date and a result out of that. Okay. So this is your insights. You can, once you do change up your content, you can look at your insights then to see how well each post is doing. So this is a good one to see, if you've done a post with links, a good image, hashtags, and everything, you can see how much engagement it's got, what time was it posted out. You can see the times, the date. that will let you know, am I better posting out something in the evening time, weekends, midweek? You will get a flow of the best time to post on your page and when you get the most engagement. And again, do everything organically and free for the first while. People think because they have a business page, they need to go straight on and then you need to do paid ads, which they don't. If you have a good strategy in place, everything ticked when you're doing your posts, then you should be doing okay before you need to do anything which is paid. Okay, and here's your insights here then on your Instagram. So learn from experience, figure out what kind of content's working well for you by looking at the insights section of your social media profiles, like your Instagram. You can see on your Instagram stories, what got the most engagement, what got the most on your posts, just by looking at the insights. So these are really good also, and they are Excel calendars. And I always recommend to have one for your Facebook and one for your Instagram. And also, again, no matter the platforms, you can do one for your Twitter and one for Pinterest. So if you sit down, I always recommend to have one admin day, and that will allow you, now it doesn't have to be a full day, it can be a couple hours, that will allow you to get back to any appointments, any clients, any business emails, and it'll also allow you to plan and schedule your content for your social media. If you put in different days what content you're going to put up, this will allow you to see a variety of content. So for example, Monday could be sale type content that relates into your business. Tuesday could be fun type content where you could share a funny quote and it's going to get reshared with your brand name. Wednesday could be some statistics that you could reshare from another business page. Just reshare, like, did you know, for example, if you were a mortgage advisor and you were resharing some statistics from estate agents, that relates into your business. You're just resharing that and then they'll return the favor from you. They'll reshare your work. Thursday then, personal content. Now, when I mean personal content, I don't mean you on a night out. I mean let people know a friendly face behind the business. This can be like about me. It can be like new things coming to the business, what you're working on, give them a little taster. People are nosy. People like excitement. They like to say, oh, she's keeping up with the business. He or she's keeping up with the business. He or she are working on new ideas. So once you have that all set in place, you will see that it's different types of content every single day. People won't become bored. They'll become engaged. Then anything on that day can be added up as extra content and it won't let your followers drop off. And it will give you a plan and it will give you the ability to not get stressed. So thinking then on a Monday, you need to get content up, you don't know what content you need to put up, and that means then you need to think on your feet. If you have this plan in place, then everything should run smoothly. And this is the recommended posting frequency. Now, this has changed this year due to lockdown quite a bit, just because people were working from home, people were furloughed. So the times were kind of changing a bit of when to post on certain pages and what times to post. But aside of that, this is the recommended. Facebook was 3 to 10 times a week. Pinterest was 5 to 10 times a week. Twitter was at least 5 times a day. Now, this is what I said. Twitter is very instant. You do need to tweet a lot, but you need to make sure that it is different types of content that you are tweeting. LinkedIn is 2 to 5 times per week. This is because it's a business platform. You need to keep current, you need to keep up to date with informative content, but you don't want to bombard people that they become annoyed or they become bored. So if you have that in place, this is just a wee guide to let you know what platforms, and if you use this in place with your Excel calendars, then you will have a wee plan set in place and you should keep on top of your platforms. So another good use is Google Drive. It's helpful features that's easy for social media marketers to build because it has a content calendar. These calendars can be easily shared with multiple people. So I always say to some clients, you can make an account on the G Suite and you can add multiple users to it within your organization or business. You can have access to business emails on the G Suite and you can share live documents. So, for example, on these Google Sheets, if I made a change to a certain time on this calendar, and I shared it with Brian. Brian would be able to see that I made that change and I wouldn't have to save, download, send it to him. He would be able to see that I've made that and then he can go on and make a change because it's a live document. So it is fast and it's effective and it's very good if you have a lot of different members of the team.
Right, so I've just put under the chat there's a link to HubSpot, and this is a social media calendar. So if you download this calendar, you can actually save this and sync this with your Outlook. So if that's something that you would want to consider, then the link's in the chat there if you want to have a look at it.
Yeah, great. So yeah, HubSpot and then the Google Sheets are a really good one. There's so much you can do on the G Suite. There's live Excel sheets, like live Google Docs, which are Microsoft documents, which again helps for your planning and organizing of your content. So we've come for a wee comfort break for 5 minutes. So if you want to come back for about 15:15, is that okay?
Yeah, and what we'll do is we'll pick up there's one or two questions that come in there. So when we come back at 11:15, Rachel will answer those questions. Is that okay? Yeah. So we'll be starting back sharp at 11:15.
Yeah, perfect.
So, Rachel, there was a couple of questions came on there. Kathy asked about LinkedIn using the app. What would you recommend putting in the stories at the top of the page?
Right. Yep. LinkedIn stories, that's a good one, is works similar to Instagram stories and Facebook stories. You need to be very current on that. With your LinkedIn stories, because it's a business platform as well, you need to be very current on that. So you could share any informative content related to your business. So if you had any advertisements, any infographics, or any good news stories, anything you need to shout about. Stories are always a function that you can put information that you need to really shout about or grab somebody's attention like instant, as opposed to a post on your grid.
I suppose for Kathy, some of the jobs that you might have at the minute, or I suppose some of the employability support or programs that are going to be launched by the government in the near future as well. It's all live and it's current, and I suppose some of your followers and some of your stakeholders might be interested in that type of content as well. So it's a variety of different content. And Breed asked about the right article or function within LinkedIn, and I suppose is it worth putting effort in? I suppose I can maybe answer that one. In terms of LinkedIn, whatever you do, you have to put some work on it. And I suppose if you're creating and writing an article on LinkedIn, I suppose there'll be more opportunity for engagement for people reading that article, engaging with that article, commenting on that article, agreeing with it, disagreeing with it. So there leads for that. I suppose it allows for more engagement and I suppose connections to develop up. So I suppose putting effort in, it's like anything in marketing, though, put the effort in, you have to kind of see the results from it. No, it's like anything that you do in marketing. If it works, brilliant, continue to do it, because that's what your audience is looking for. If it doesn't work, then I suppose don't continue to do it. So I suppose it's the trying it, Breed, is what I would say, and see about the results.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, so next topic is an important one. It's creating themes on social media. This is one of the latest trends at the moment. A lot of businesses are going down this route. So creating a theme, one of the platforms that is really useful for this and useful for a lot of things as a business owner is Canva. So Canva, you can pick brand colors, specific font for your business through Canva. There is a free version and the pro version is something like £10 a month, but Canva is a really good platform for doing a lot of things for your social media, even in terms of creating a logo for your social media and linking it on to even down to on Instagram, creating highlights to match on for your brand and match on to your logo. Canva is a good platform to have. HTML color codes, you can create a specific color for your brand, with this hashtag. I remember doing, excuse me, client work for a client and she wanted a specific color of rose gold. I was able to type in on this and I was able to find her the actual color that matched under her logo just by using the HTML color codes.
And what I would suggest, you might have a logo that has been done 10 years ago and you're still very happy with it. The graphic designer might have gone out of business. You maybe don't have the brand guidelines. So you're looking to find out what is that color code of your logo. Put it on the HTML color codes, get the color code, then go on to Canva and build your brand, I suppose, colors, leave it on there. So that any time that you do maybe an image or maybe a story or maybe kind of a poster for social media, whatever platform it would be, that you're using the exact colors of maybe your logo, you're using the exact same colors that you use. So there's a consistency throughout all of the stuff that you do. So whenever somebody sees maybe a poster or maybe a logo or maybe something that you've created, they straight away, they connect it with your business because of the color scheme or maybe kind of the logo and stuff like that.
Yeah, and then it can always be saved, and you can create a wee section then for your brand within Canva. Even for creating presentations, you can even use Canva to present and create presentation styles. There's so many different templates on Canva that relates and they each specific social media platform, or even for designing templates for leaflets, business cards. There's so much that could be use of a business. Okay, so themes, what are they and why do you need to have an Instagram theme, or why do you need to have a theme for your business? So themes are really popular at the moment on Instagram. And this is a wee example. You probably come across a lot of them at the moment through social media. There are two main reasons to have an Instagram theme, and it's brand identity and it's a visual appeal. So it's more appealing to come on somebody's page on social media to see it look well visually and stand out, and also it not be too cluttered with images, so that somebody can get straight to the point. And it looks very professional, and it looks well for the business owner that they've took a lot of time into their social media and a lot of care into it. With a solid, unique Instagram theme, your brand is instantly recognizable. It establishes an overarching design for your feed that helps your name stand out on the platform. So this is just a snippet of the actual grid for a theme. If you link this theme in and link it into your highlights and to your logo, then this will all flow really well on your platform. So here's a few more examples. So themes, consistency is key. So if you start off with a theme, you need to make sure that that is consistent throughout. So this is the most important part of building a successful account. By creating curation rules and being consistent, your brand's account will become recognizable and ownable. So these are a few examples of the highlights on Instagram accounts for themes. So as you can see, these are all the exact same, and they're all the same colors, and they relate into the business. So your theme can be, it can be monochrome, it can be neutral, it can be vibrant, whatever you want, and wherever you want it to relate into your business, you can use that on the basis of creating your theme. Now, there is an app out there which is really good, and I always recommend it to start off creating your themes, and it's called the Preview app. So Preview app works on the basis of having your Instagram on the app, and you can make the changes and create themes, and but it's just like an editor, so it doesn't actually post out live to Instagram. So you can make all the changes before posting the live to Instagram without anybody knowing that you're making those changes, so that you can have the editing facilities there. So themes on Instagram stories. Stories are a great way to share quick behind the scene updates about your business. They don't need to be as polished as your feed-based post, making them easy to create. You can work from a set of professionally designed story templates. So another good use of Canva is there is a section on Canva for Instagram stories where you can get lots of little tips and really good special effects for your Instagram stories and for your Facebook stories and any other platforms. You can also use the Preview app for this. And there's also a lot of different free apps out there that can help with the likes of Instagram stories. There's one that is free, it's called Planoly. And that's another good one for Instagram stories. And there's another one called In Stories. And that helps you create content, create graphics for your Instagram stories. And they're all free. Okay. So the relevant hashtags and how to find them. So adding hashtags to Instagram posts boosts engagement by 12.6% on average. Add a branded hashtag, one that's unique to your organization, can boost engagement and awareness. You can use up to 30 hashtags on each post, but think quality over quantity. Try hashtags that are relevant to your audience and popular in your industry. The ideal number of hashtags is 11. So hashtags was kind of a touchy subject before because people didn't really know what to hashtag, how many to do. You did see a lot of business users before like overdoing it with hashtags. They thought the more hashtags, the more recognition. But as I said previously today, there was a lot of hashtags people were using with over 1 million posts and 1 million views. They are the ones that are getting filtered out and not seen, and they recommend not to use those. So when you do type in, for example, if you type in hashtag business and the top one comes up and it's 1.2 million, don't use that. If you go on down and it's business and it's like 300,000, use that one, because that's the one that's going to be seen. It's going to be put to the discovery page. All our brands are going to pick it up, and it's not going to be filtered out. The number of hashtags does play a role. So hashtags per post. So as you can see, this is a recommended number. If you underdo it, it doesn't really get seen as much. And if you overdo it, it ticks it up. You don't want to, there's a lot of businesses that put like about 30 to 40 hashtags, and it doesn't look well visually. And it just is very off-putting when you go on, because nobody wants to read down to the very bottom of the hashtag. They don't look at them.
And I think, Rachel, I suppose across men, we always associated with Instagram and our hashtags, and they kind of commented, how many we were allowed. Mm-hmm. But across many social channels now, I suppose the kind of the name gives it away. They want us to be social, so they're bringing in the hashtags. They try and group different connections and different people together and groups together, so that we're going to be more social online. And I suppose, although Facebook owns Instagram and Facebook, people would have said, well, hashtags are the Instagram feed, our thing, don't put them on the Facebook. But Facebook now, from the middle of last year, are now, their algorithm now is picking up the hashtags, because they want us to be more social. So yeah, although you're not kind of throwing them a pile of them and that you think are relevant and an overload, but picking maybe half a dozen of relevant ones where that makes sense, and it also allows the content to flow correctly and I suppose ultimately be user friendly. But in terms of Facebook, yes, hashtags do play a part in that now, and Instagram, yes, it is still a very important part, because it just wants to group us all together. And that search function within Instagram and Facebook, that plays its part as well. Your hashtags that you'll use within some of your posts and your feeds, they will be picked up. So in terms of the algorithm and in terms of the geo tag location, because when we type something in the social media, it will throw us up our local businesses first and foremost, because the tags on our phone. So hashtags are definitely an important thing.
Yeah, and as you all probably already know, like obviously Twitter is a big for hashtag, but a lot of people are forgetting and probably not aware. LinkedIn is very important at the moment for hashtags. When you go to do a post on LinkedIn at the moment, it does kind of not prompt you as such, but it gives you the option to have a hashtag, and you will see a lot of businesses and organizations now at the moment hashtagging more recently and more frequently on LinkedIn. So I myself have got into the kind of swing of that now on LinkedIn, is hashtagging and tagging on LinkedIn. It's getting more recognition and more connections with organizations. So it's a really good benefit to hashtag on LinkedIn also. So that's a good wee tip. To find some hashtags, there is websites available. On the Preview app, there is a section for hashtags and what hashtags relates under your business, and it gives you little tips of what hashtags to use. Then there's other websites for ideas, like this one is tagsfinder.com. So you can put it in and it'll give you a number of hashtags to use. Then on your insights, it'll give you the insights of the hashtags that you use on your posts and how well they're doing. So this will give you an insight to yourself of what ones to use, what ones not to use in relation to what posts that you're sending out. So moving on then to the latest social media features. Social media is ever changing. There's always something new added to each platform. As you see in the past year, there's been a lot added because we've been in lockdown and social media felt like they had to up their game because a lot of people were at home. So again, we touched a bit on this. So LinkedIn stories. So they are a format for sharing videos and images in a slider-like story format for professional networking. It was initially introduced by a social network Snapchat and mainly popularized by TikTok and Instagram stories. So they aim to increase mobile engagement. And as I said, anything you need to shout about in a business side in a professional manner, put on your LinkedIn stories. So any good news stories, job advertisements, anything like that, put that on your LinkedIn stories. There are a lot of new Facebook features. So Facebook's new business suite has been both announced and rolled out, and people have discovered it, and a lot of people are still kind of getting the hang of it and a hang of a lot of functions. Some people aren't aware of the lot of functions that Facebook Business Suite has to offer. So it's a single dashboard and it links your Facebook and Instagram together, allows you to post, message, advertise, and view insights all in one. And it's designed to make the social media management easier for at least the two platforms. And if you want to schedule posts, it'll schedule it on both your Instagram and your Facebook once they're linked together. And the setup of linking your Instagram is really easy. You just go in and link Instagram and it'll ask you to log into your Instagram page and it links it within the business suite. Okay, so here's just a few wee snapshots here of the business suite. And it shows your insights and the home page of it. And here is the business suite here and the functions that it all does. So business settings, events manager, if you have an event coming up for your business, if you're holding like a workshop or anything and you want to put it on your Facebook business account, you can control that on there. You can control your ads, your analytics, your audience insights. You can see how well your posts are doing here. So this is just the breakdown of it all.
What I would say, there's when we Facebook and Instagram own, or Facebook own and Instagram and Facebook, there's, I suppose there's a real differentiation between both platforms. Now, Instagram's very simple, whereas Facebook, see in terms of the back end, the algorithms of there, it can become kind of very complicated and overbearing. So just kind of do it softly. If you are going into the business suite, just kind of trial and error. But I suppose you don't need to know absolutely everything, because I suppose that's where people can get confused. And I suppose in the information that Facebook would shoot you out can be kind of come a bit overbearing. So just take it softly in terms of the use of the business suite.
Yeah, you will find yourself getting used to it, because you will go on each now and again to have one function. And once you're on doing one function, even linking your Instagram, you will see different settings that might become available. So as you said, and as you said, Brian, just get used to it, and you will see the more times you want it, the more things that you might think are relevant to your business. Okay. So business settings here. Users, this is where you can assign roles. You can assign like creators, admins of the team. You can give people responsibilities. So if you have more members of the team and you want to give them page controls, that's all in the business suite. Okay.
That's a real important one. So just before I jump on that, I've had experience in the last month where I suppose somebody has had members of staff, and this has happened. We've seen this happen numerous times. So if it's your business and you're bringing other people in to assist you with the business, be it a member of staff or a family member or a social media management person that maybe is going to manage your social media or support you in the social media, please make sure that you're the full admin.
Admin, yeah.
If you make them the admin, and rather than maybe, I suppose, the permission levels, they have full control. So they can take your account and see all those assets that you've developed up and all that content that you've developed over time. That's all gone because they're in control of it. So please make sure that you're in control of it. And if you're going to add a social media management person or a member of staff or a family member, add them as the next permission level down so that you remain in control.
Yeah, definitely. And you can do all that within the business suite. You can assign what roles you want to who. Also, a lot of people want to know, how do they link up and how do they get Facebook shop and Instagram shop? Now, Facebook shop you can have on your business suite. Now, Facebook do take a while to get the permissions sorted in order to have a shop. They need to be approved, and you need to prove that you have an e-commerce backend. So had a few clients that I've made Shopify accounts. So as you can see here within the business suite, this is where you link your Shopify commerce account. Once you do this, you need to then, it will prompt you to have a link. Then you need to click that to get approved. And then it'll take a few days for Facebook to come back to let you know if they've approved that you can have Facebook shop. Or they might need more information. But then once that's linked then in your shop and your e-commerce is approved, then you can then set up your Facebook shop. Messenger rooms, you will see that this has become really popular, especially through lockdown, between Zoom and between messenger rooms. A lot of families, and businesses use this to communicate. So it's a video chat feature, and it's new, and it's more likely to rival the new tools such as Zoom. Users will be able to create a room through their Facebook or Messenger apps and invite up to 50 people to join through a video chat, even if they don't have a Facebook account. And you always see that on your Facebook. So that's a really good tool for Facebook.
And that's something, I suppose, we've had clients that maybe are personal trainers or maybe nutritional experts or maybe Slimming World or Weight Watchers consultants, and they're able to kind of continue to provide their services online and monetize that as well. So I suppose people, all of these social media channels, though, yes, we are more we want that video content, so they all have different owners and they're all jumping on the bandwagon when they see one getting, I suppose, a lot of traction in terms of maybe a new function, then straight away they're copying it. They'll name it something else. So like even that LinkedIn stories and the Instagram stories and all of those things, Facebook stories, they're all jumping in the bandwagon. So a lot of functionality is similar, some more complex than others. So like the new tools like the messenger room has allowed businesses to continue to trade, and I suppose can allow businesses to differentiate kind of during this present time.
Yeah, and this is a really good one too, because I know it can be second nature to some, but Zoom can be quite tricky for some people to get the hang of and to actually even just join a meeting. Whereas if they already have Facebook set in place, messenger rooms can be quite easier for them to communicate through video. So this can be quite beneficial for a lot of businesses. They have this in place rather than having Zoom. Instagram Reels. So this is one of the latest trends that is taken off quite well, and this is really good for creating brand awareness. Reels can be shared in feeds, and Reels from public accounts are eligible to be discovered through a new space in the Explore section on Instagram. Sharing the Reels in Explore means that they may appear there and be visible to a larger audience. If your account is private, only your followers will be able to view your Reels. So if you are a business, make sure that your account is public, because the more that you can share, then the more that your brand is going to be seen. So Reels are short clipped videos, and you can do so much with Reels. You don't even have, if you're quite shy, you don't have to speak. You can do videos with adding text, adding music, and they're really good because it's not a lot of pressure of you having to do a long video. Reels, once you hashtag on your Reels, they get pushed out to the Explore page. And I've seen a lot of clients that come up on people's news feeds and stay on the Explore page because their Reels are doing really well. I've seen a lot of business owners in the town now that are hairdressers, and because they've been in lockdown, they've reinvented their social media pages, they've created themes, and they're really popular at the moment on Reels. And their engagement and their insights have increased dramatically because of the just reinventing their social media and by the use of the Reels. So it does prove to pay off.
And I suppose this is where you can, I suppose, personalize it as well. I think there was one of the atelier, I suppose, as a hairdressers, but during lockdown, he did a thing in terms of kind of teaching people how to cut their hair, predominantly men. So again, it's just personalize it. It's kind of getting this brand out there, and it's, I suppose, it's giving a bit of information to the people that follow him, and they follow him for a reason because they need their haircut. So it's just that differentiation, and again, it's that personalization as well. So short content, snappy, just what some people want.
Yeah, fun type of content. And they themselves have been out of work for so long, so they couldn't keep putting up haircuts because obviously they were out of business. So they needed to put up some content that they wanted people to still stay engaged. So it was a really good way of doing it, with giving helpful tips at home, but also making it the fun type of content by using the Instagram Reels. So to create Instagram Reels, you select at the bottom of the Instagram camera, you'll see a variety of creative editing tools on the left side of your screen. You can use to create your reel, audio, AR effect, timer and countdown, align, speed. Reels can be recorded in a series of clips, so it's one at a time, all at once, or using video uploads from your gallery. Record the first clip by pressing and holding the capture button. You'll then see a progress indicator at the top of your screen as you record, and then stop recording to end each clip. Now, I always say to people, a really good tip for this is once you record this, you can save it to your phone. So that is a short video done that you can then save and use on your other platforms. So it is doing one thing for them all. So Facebook algorithm picks up videos quite a lot, and you don't want to have long videos so that your users will become bored and drop off. So if you use your reels and post them to your Facebook, and just do an individual post on Facebook and your relevant hashtags on Facebook, then that video then is okay to have on Facebook. Okay, so we'll move on then to the popular apps and tools that are needed in order to help for the content creation of social media. A really good one is Grammarly, and it was Brian who introduced this to me. I am really fast at typing, so whenever I look back up to my screen, I know then there's a lot of spell mistakes before I send out an email or a particular document. If you download Grammarly and have it as a little plugin on your computer, this will pick up any spell mistakes, any grammar that doesn't sound right. So if you are not the best at spelling, this is a really good tool to have set in place for your business. And again, it's free, so it's very useful.
And you have it has a plugin for anyone that uses Chrome. It has a plugin for Chrome. Now, it's like being on a Word document. Whenever you type in a Word document, if there's a misspelling or grammar, so there it highlights it in red. But see, Grammarly, anything that you type in your computer, be it on Canva, be it on maybe a Facebook, be it on an Instagram, be it on a Word document, be it on your website, really important one. If you're maybe changing some content in your website, Grammarly will pick up any spell mistakes, and spell mistakes are a pet hate of mine. So in social media, when you're reading it. And we'll pick up all that predictive text that some of us have got used to now and sending those kind of short messages. So Grammarly is a great one just to have on your computer, and it picks the vast majority of it up.
Yeah, so it is very useful, especially if you're not the best at spelling. Social media content tools, again, I touched a bit on this, but it is really good for a business as it does so much, is Canva. Even if you want some business cards, some leaflets, if you're wanting an email campaign, some social media content, Canva is a really good one. Now, there is all different sections within the home section and a lot of free templates, or you can design your own. But if you're like myself and you want something instant, you just literally type it into the search bar, for example, Instagram highlights, and it brings it up straight away. It's very, very easy to use, and this is where you can also create your brand colors and save it to a particular section. You can create presentations, PowerPoints, things like that on Canva.
But one of the things that in terms of Canva, and sorry Rachel, it's just endless. No, I know when something looks well, when something doesn't look well. So see, in terms of the design, the layout of some of those templates, some of them they've all been created by graphic designers. Now, what I've done recently in terms of a new startup business, they're looking to develop an electronic brochure of their services and their products. We've done that A4 brochure on Canva. That maybe took us a few days to do. They've had the imagery, and I suppose across all social media channels, the content is fine, but and I suppose all the wording stuff there, but your images have to be very, very good. So we were clear in terms of the brochure, the marketing brochure, and we're now going to use that marketing brochure to head up organizations across Ireland in terms of the relevant sectors. They kind of that lead generation to get the foot in the door or to get that meeting arranged. But seeing that visual of that brochure, and it's maybe a 12-page brochure with images, but more narrative about the business, but about the unique selling points of the business, of the products themselves, all done through Canva. So the possibilities are endless.
Yeah, definitely. It is very beneficial for a business to have this. And again, it does have a free version. And you can start off on the basis of a free version until you get your head around it. And if you do want, then you can upgrade. Also, Pixabay is very good for stock images. If you find that Google doesn't have a lot that you're looking for specific graphics, Pixabay is really good. The graphics that they offer for any content that you're doing, anything that relates into your business, you just search it in the search bar and it brings up a lot of images that are really good. And promo, I can't talk enough about this. It does so much. It is, you can have the free version. You don't really need to do much with a calendar, but then you can have basic, standard, or pro. This is a site that has the hashtag calendar with the specific days for content ideas. It also has help with Facebook, Instagram ads, YouTube ads, and all different functions on that and templates. Okay, so creating a bigger online presence. This is the different areas companies focus online. As you can see from this chart, there are areas which companies look at when advertising and creating brand awareness online for their business. And the most that they look at as advertising and website content and development. Then there's online advertising and mobile advertising and applications. And this is because a lot of people are mobile. They're online on mobile, and a lot of people forget this when they're creating websites and creating a lot of advertisements. They forget that they need to be aware of how this is going to look on a mobile device, and is this going to match and then with what they're going to present on a web device. Okay, and also a lot of people forget when they're running a business about email marketing. They think that it has to all be through social, but email marketing plays a lot in social because you can send out email campaigns and link it under your social media. So you can have call to actions on your email campaigns and direct people then to your social media. So have call to actions on that. So examples of eye-catching content. Make sure to keep up to date with the latest trends, have images and videos that are well structured and the correct format, and also have a marketing strategy in place so the content is well organized. I always recommend to go month to month on your marketing strategy. Look at the particular days that are coming up within your own business. Look at the particular days that are coming up with events with organizations relating to your business. And then also look at the national hashtag days. Are there any that relate under your business? With all that, you have more than enough content itself before you even advertise promotions, competitions, or anything like that. If you go month to month, then you'll have a good plan set in place and you won't become stressed and your social media platforms won't become neglected. So building your brand on social media. This is what your company does. Your company needs to have fully updated your social media accounts all the time. So don't forget, there's always somebody on looking at your social media. If somebody now wants like a chiropractor, they'll always go to social media first and put up a recommendation, and chiropractors will then become tagged under that status. So you want your social media platform to be current, up to date with the latest information. If somebody goes on your page after you become tagged in their status and they see that you haven't posted since about 2 months ago, they're not going to book with you. They're going to book with somebody that has posted within a few days or within a week, because they know you're current, you're still engaging, and you're still active. So, and you also need to identify your area of expertise. So if you have a company and you have a few staff members who do different things within your company, you need to make that aware on your social media platform. So a good way of doing this is having like a services tab. and About Me tab. So make sure that the content is up to date, it's relevant, and it's very informative. The services can let customers know the different services you have to offer, not that you're just this one organization. It also helps you get customers because they know that you do specify in different areas, not just the one. This is why your team is amazing. So your team can keep your brand, voice, image, and tone consistent. Your team will need to study influencers. So now and again, it would be worth getting an influencer into your business to help raise the brand and brand awareness. Avoid trying to do it all. So you need to, within your team, categorize priorities and tasks. And if you're a one person small business, then you can still do this. Categorize priorities and tasks yourself with using the Excel sheets and the calendars. If you, again, take an admin day a week, prioritize what needs to come in. And this can only take an hour, it doesn't need to take a full day. And have a clear voice within your business and have it on social media so that people know what your business is about and that you respond back to their messages and that you're up to date with everything. Why should people support you? Create engaging content, import your context, keep it positive. Don't have any negative material on your social media. Don't come across negatively on your stories. Don't come on your platform to rant or talk negatively about other businesses. It's very off-putting and it's very unprofessional. Find and join groups. It's very good for networking and building relationships with different businesses and brands. And be consistent. So always have content up on your different platforms. Never let it get neglected. So what makes you unique? Show on your social media platforms why your brand is unique. What stands out? So personalize the platform so that the customers have a taste of the face behind the business. You want to let people know that your business is unique so that if somebody sees your product out and about, they know now and then that comes from that specific business. So you want it to be unique, stand out from the rest, because you always need to keep up to date with your competitors and you need to make that known on your social media platforms. So successful companies are consistent of nailing down a schedule. Again, you need to plan and organize your social media posts. If you schedule your social media posts, this can free up time elsewhere in the business. So you can schedule with using the business manager. You can schedule your Facebook and your Instagram. And a little tip we have is you can download an app to schedule your Instagram stories. And that is an app called later.com. And for anybody that's not tech savvy, it's a very easy to use app. People forget that Instagram stories are really one of the most important things that needs to be up to date. So if you can schedule Instagram stories, then all the better. So later.com can help you do that. Answer questions immediately. There's nothing worse than you having a query and sending it on the company and having to wait a long time for a response. So make sure to respond back to any queries from customers and don't leave any unanswered. This will affect business. Interact with your followers. So respond back to any comments on your platforms, whether it's positive or negative. Always be polite. So if you have negative feedback, if somebody wasn't happy with service, that doesn't mean for you to go and have a rant back with them. It just means respond back in a polite manner and get the problem resolved. But don't neglect the negative feedback and only be seen to respond back to the positive, because that as well doesn't look very well for the business, because it just looks then that you're only responding back to people that like your business, and the people that has an issue then are getting neglected, which doesn't look very good. So make the most out of the internet. Use your social media channels. Use your automated customer service. As I said, you can personalize this on your Facebook so that it relates more to the business, cuts out the middleman, filters out any unnecessary messages. Seamless e-commerce platform. If you have a website, link it into your social media. Always have call to actions so that you're directing somebody to your website and you're always getting pushing them for a sale, letting them know that you're there, letting them know you're making them aware of the brand, of the products. Use your analytic tools and the reporting. This will help for any feedback, anything that you know you could be doing better for in terms of maybe when you post, what you should be posting. Use your analytic tools for this. And tailor-made user recommendations. If anybody recommends you to use like a specific function or calendar, try it out, see if it works for you. If it benefits the business in any way, then definitely give it a go.
Right, so just on that seamless e-commerce platform, we're talking today about social media, and social media now, in the very near future, you will be able to sell through your social media. I suppose last year when the pandemic hit, so a lot of the big social media platforms, they were saying, well, what are we going to give back to communities and stuff like that there. Facebook have, they tried it and they've rolled it out across America so that you, some of you said maybe have products that you sell. You maybe have some your shop functions on your Facebook and your Instagrams, and at the minute that takes you to either contact the business or to your website, to the product on your website. But in America now, and it will be coming here to Europe very, very soon, in that you will be able to check out natively, so within Facebook, and that you won't be directed to the premises, or you won't be directed to the e-commerce website. So it's more or less Facebook's way of saying, well, you don't need to invest in an e-commerce website. You'll be able to make a sale, and it'll be very much like Amazon. Your bank account details will be within Facebook, and you'll click a button to purchase, and that will, so a business in the very near future will be able to have a seamless e-commerce platform within their social media platform, namely at the minute, Facebook and Instagram. So it's a great facility. Some people might keep it alongside their e-commerce website. Ultimately, there's more avenues and channels online where somebody can maybe make a purchase from their business. So it will be here, and it's like anything that these big firms do. They tried it, they tested it in America before they rolled out across the way. So it will become these social media platforms very, very soon.
Yeah. Okay, so adapting the different platforms. So see how all our profiles are created. So take a look at any similar businesses and see the pros and cons of each, what you like out of theirs, how their tone of voice is on their platform, and how they promote their products, and how they publish their content. Make a list of what you like and implement it into your own page with your own brand ideas added. So you don't need a copy, just take a list of what you like out of it. So gauge the audience's tastes and preferences. Now and again, ask for feedback from your audience, especially when new features are announced on social media. Ask customers, would they like this added to your page? What they would find more beneficial, easier on your page. Build a profile for that specific platform. Each social media platform has different functions. For example, Facebook has a service section where customers can book appointments on that. Add that to your page if it benefits your business, so that people know that it's just not the one service that you have to offer, that there's a couple of sections, so that then gets more business. I have a lot of clients that I implement this into that they weren't aware of it, so that it gets more engagement and more business through it. So a lot of customers don't know the different sections that their business has to offer. So with a services section added in place, this is great for business. So how brands deal with consumers, they interact with followers, quick response to inquiries, swift order taking and assistance. You don't want to leave anybody waiting on orders, waiting in responses. It's bad for business. Keep up to date with the latest trends. You always want to be up to date with especially your competitors and with the latest trends on social media, especially these themes. You don't want to seem that your social media platforms are out of date, and you know that you don't really put a lot of effort into those. Delivering on promises. Make sure that what you say on your social media, you deliver on that. Keeping the customers delighted. So if you have something on your social media, you will need to follow that through. You need to have good feedback. If somebody's not happy with the service, you need to get that resolved and get that issue corrected as soon as possible. And that all ties in with the quick response to inquiries and interaction with your followers. Okay, so that wraps us up today. I have my details here if anybody needs to take those down. Because this was an introduction to social media, if you have any questions that you need to ask me on any topics relating to that and a bit more detail, then definitely give me an email. I'll be happy to answer that. So there, and then if anybody has any more questions there, Brian, have you any?
There's no questions in the chat at the minute. And while Sam chatting, you might want to jot them in. I suppose following on from this, if you're based in the Derry City and Strabane District Council area and you're a business and you haven't accessed the Business Innovation and Growth Programme as yet, this is Council's core business growth programme and development programme. We co-manage that programme. So you might be able to get a bit more support around your digital marketing strategy or your social media strategy, or I suppose anything in terms of your business. They support your business, they grow and develop locally and internationally. So Rachel will can be that conduit. She can provide more information for that if you want to drop her an email. Or you can contact Council directly and they can give you more information about the big program. You probably get different emails over the week in terms of feedback and maybe other sessions and stuff there. There'll probably be a link to the big program and promotion of the big program. So again, we're doing a lot of stuff at the minute around business development, and a lot of it is around digital marketing and social media management. So feel free to get in contact with us and we can provide you with more details of that. And I suppose some of the people asked at the start, we will provide the slides to everybody, all the attendees of today, and I'm going to save the chat function and send all the links that I've sent in the chat function alongside the slides and the recording of the workshop. And apologies for that, the wee intro, the wee interruption at the middle.
I know. Sorry about that.
All right. So as I say, thanks very much for attending, and we'll be in contact with the additional resources.
Yeah.
Thank you.